Hi guys, so this is just another quick video just to talk a little bit more about these speakers. I've posted a few videos of them, I haven't really talked too much about them. Just tell you a little bit about what I use to make them. I have a CT Sounds tweeter here, and I have a really cheap little Sony full range neodymium speaker. It's about a 2-inch speaker with a plastic cap on the voice coil that I attached, which is attached to the foam board, and then I have an ARC audio crossover here that goes to the tweeter in the mid. The foam panel is nothing special. It's from the dollar store. I tried out a couple different types of board and did a whole bunch of research online to figure out what would work the best, and so far I've been really happy with these. They have really good sound, and I'll post up a graph as well to show the output that I got from these just running a 20 Hz to 20K sine wave through them, so you can see their response is actually pretty flat. I'm hoping to rebuild these someday soon with some better materials and a real sound exciter that should hopefully do better than what I've done homemade. I'll stick with these tweeters because I've been really happy with their sound, and they're not too bright, so I think they do really well with these. I spent quite a few hours trying to decide on where to mount these because any pressure on the speaker itself changes the tone a lot, actually. So that took me a long time to figure out where to mount them and to get the best bass response, because that does change depending on where these things are mounted. You'll see a lot of these type of speakers suspended, which I thought about doing that as well, but I actually got better bass response and overall sound by mounting it the way I have it now. So it seems to be working really well. The next ones that I build, I plan on doing a curved front to it. Though these things seem to do pretty well. They put sound out in all directions and are not really directional like a lot of other speakers of their type. They seem to do pretty well. But the next ones I'm going to try to do even better and try to get a better sound out of them. Also, I've done some experimenting with kind of a flexing baffle and then a stiff baffle. This speaker right here, you can kind of tell it's got a little bit of a bend in it, and it actually vibrates a little bit less than the one over here, but I think it has a better sound. It also doesn't have any resonance like this other one does. This other one's stiff. It has no bend in it at all. It's perfectly flat, and it's got a really good sound to it, but I can tell at certain frequencies, like around 3000 hertz, it does resonate a little bit, and it also vibrates a little differently than the other panel. And I think that when I rebuild these, I'll be bending the panel like I did with this one, because I just think it just works better. Also, I've done some experimenting with the waves coming off the back of the panels and bass reflection off the back, and when I redo these in the future, I will have some kind of a reflecting panel on the back side that will help push the bass that I'm getting out of these more towards the front, and that'll help a little bit with the lower range. These things seem to actually put out pretty flat response all the way down to around 100 hertz or so, which is great. I do plan on in the future building a crossover that will cut off about 120 hertz below. That way these panels aren't vibrating so much that they start to muddy out the vocals, which so far hasn't been too much of an issue, but that's kind of at a medium volume. If I try to really crank them up high, they can get a little muddy. So in the future, plan on trying to build crossovers and clean them up a little bit and just give them an overall better sound. That's mainly it. They're super simple. Barely have any money put into them at all. Mostly just several hours of experimenting and trying things out to see what works best for these. That's it.